All right, everybody. Thank you for joining today's Legal Shield Will Workshop. This is Mel Raposo. Been with Legal Shield now for 19 years, and today we're going to do a very short presentation on what about your last will and testament. Um, what is the need? When do you need it? And what it's all about. So this is a very quick presentation, and this is really for all of us that are thinking about what will happen after we pass away. And we want to make sure that our assets and our possessions go to who we want them to, and that's the whole purpose of a will. So with a legal will, and again, legal will is important because you can go get a will out of a box. You can download a template from the internet, but it's important to make sure that your will is legal in the state that you live, and that is critical. So with the legal will, you can do all of those things. You can make sure that your assets are accounted for, and making sure that they go where you want them to go when you are no longer here. It also reduces your family's legal costs and the potential for disagreements about your wishes. And if we've witnessed it ourselves personally, or we know of families that go through a lot of problems and infighting when someone dies, and the will is one way to really minimize that kinds of problems. But you need to know what information is included in the will or your last will and testament. Who's the parties in a last will and testament, and when do you need a legal last will and testament? And that's what this presentation is all about. First of all, what is the last will and testament? And we're going to call it the will because that's what we know it as. We know it as a will or your last will, but all it is, it's a document that allows you to state how your assets will be divided after you die, after you pass away. I call it the last love letter you will ever write, because if you think about it, once you're gone, it's too late. So the will allows you the opportunity to determine where your assets will go after you pass away. And that is the main reason why we all should, regardless of how old we are or what we own, everyone should have a last will and testament. So what do you need to complete the will? It's not difficult at all. Personal information about yourself, obviously, your current marital status, who you wish to name as your executor, and their address. Now, some people have multiple executors. Again, we don't give legal advice, or I don't. Our attorney firm does. So, that is something you would discuss with your attorney to make sure that you're covered, whether you get one executor or co-executors, however, whatever works best for you. You'll also need information about all of your biological and legally adopted children. That'll all be in the will as well. And of course, the information about any assets or gifts that you wish to give, and the recipients or beneficiaries that you will give them to. So that is what you will need prior to completing your will. Now, who's involved? What parties are involved? Well, first of all, the testator or testatrix, which is obviously you, the person that the will is being created for, and whose property will be distributed once they are deceased. So that's number one. That would be each and every one of us. The executor or your personal representative, that's the person who's going to administer your wishes and make sure that the estate will be divided the way you wanted it to. Of course, the beneficiary, that would be the one that is going to receive your estate or part of your estate. You can have multiple beneficiaries, but you will decide how to divide up your assets however you see fit. And recently, we're finding that because of relationships between people and their animals, their pets, we would also recommend, if you do have a pet, that you would also include a pet caretaker, and that is the person that you will that you trust enough that they will take care of your pets once you are no longer here. So it could be the same as your executor, or it could be someone completely different. That is entirely up to you. And that's the whole purpose, again, of the will. So you make these decisions while you're still here, and not leave it up to someone else once you're gone. When do you need a last will and testament? Well, obviously, if you're married, you have children, or if you get separated from a spouse or significant other, if you own property and you wish to leave it with specific beneficiaries, of course, you would need a will to determine that. And or if you own a business or a partial owner of a business, and you want to leave your part with someone specific, then obviously you would need a will as well. If you travel frequently or you have a dangerous job, definitely consider getting a will as soon as possible. And if you have any monetary assets, investment savings, etc., that you wish to distribute to family or friends after you pass, that would trigger really the need to get a last will and testament completed as soon as possible. The problem that we all have, and lately, as people call me a lot. A lot of people think that I run an attorney firm. Well, I don't run an attorney firm, and I'm not an attorney, and I don't give legal advice. But nonetheless, people call me a lot and ask me legal questions. Oftentimes, it's about who's a good lawyer, or how can they get their will done. And what they find out is when they call an attorney, the cost is quite high. So when you hire an attorney, and I have nothing against attorneys. If you can afford one, God bless you. But in today's market, have an attorney evaluate your financial circumstances and prepare the documents. You're looking at about $800 to $1,800, and in fact, in many cases, can be significantly higher. So, depending on your situation, your complexity, and where you live, and Kauai, as you know, is one of the highest costing islands in the state, and quite possibly in the country. It's very expensive, and it's one of the reasons why most people do not get a will, because they just simply cannot afford it, and it's just not that high on their list of priorities. So again, the cost is a problem, and that's why I decided to do this Zoom session today. Was hopefully we can help. LegalShield is a membership-based service. And part of the service, or part of the benefit, is that our attorneys, Brevard and Jones, which they're located right on Oahu, right on Bishop Street. They got a beautiful office on Bishop Street. They will do this for you, and they will prepare this will just for being a member, just for trying out our membership. Our lawyers will prepare for you and your spouse now, for both of you, or your significant other. You don't have to be married. You don't even have to be the same sex or opposite sex. As long as you are in a relationship with someone, you both will get a will. You both will get a living will, which is the Advanced Healthcare Directive, which is the document that if you're incapacitated, you make the determination of how you want to be handled, whether you want to be hooked on to life support or not, if you want to be tube fed or not. Those decisions should be made when you are still competent. So that document tells the doctors what to do with you should you become incompetent or incapacitated. So those will be provided for you and your partner. Healthcare power of attorney, should you become incapacitated, you need someone to take care of your medical decisions besides your what the living will covers. So besides the your being tube fed or being hooked up to the machine, all your other healthcare decisions, whether or not you want to be transferred to another hospital, as far as medication or treatment, you need someone to make those decisions for you. So that's what the healthcare power of attorney provides, as well as a financial power of attorney. Someone needs to take care of your finances when you are hopefully temporarily incapacitated, but all of that needs to be taken care of. So these documents, these 4 documents are very important. And again, our attorneys will prepare these 4 documents, not just for you, but for you and your spouse or significant other. And if you look at the picture right here, there's an app. It's an app that goes on your phone, and you just push the button. You push a button, and you'll start the process of getting these documents made for you by our attorney firm. Now, it's not just the wills. It's not just the estate planning that is covered under the membership. The membership is $24.95 a month, $24.95 a month. And it gets you unlimited access to our attorney firm on Oahu. Whatever personal issue you have, legal issue, you got problems with creditors or service providers, whatever the case may be, unlimited number of issues, you just give them a call, and you will not get a bill. If your issue requires them to write a letter or make a phone call on your behalf, that will be done as well. For unlimited matters, again, at no additional cost. They'll review contracts or documents in unlimited number of situations. So whenever you requested or required to sign a document, you just send it over to the law firm, and they will review it for you prior to you signing, up to 15 pages, and that will be done as well at no additional cost. If you get audited by the IRS, we'll provide you 50 hours of attorney time. We'll provide you attorney time if you or your wife or your spouse is are named as defendants in a civil lawsuit, and that covers pretrial and trial time. Also, family and domestic services. This is something new that we just started offering: uncontested divorces, adoptions, separations, and name changes, all done for you by our attorney firm at no additional cost. And it's all based off of this app. You need to call the law firm, you just hit that button. You get a traffic ticket, you get a moving violation, as you can see right here. Rather than grabbing the ticket and worrying about your court date and running around town to figure out who can help you, you just take a picture using the app. You take a picture of the citation, press the send button, it goes straight to our attorney firm, and an attorney within 4 business hours will call you back and discuss the defense with you. They're going to cover you on this ticket. They're going to cover the defense of this violation, as long as it's a moving violation, at no additional cost. Also, 24/7 emergency assistance. So if you get into situations, you get into an accident, 2 o'clock in the morning, and the police are there asking you questions, you hit that red button on the bottom of the app, on that picture right next to the ticket. You see that red button, emergency legal access. That's a direct line to an attorney's cell phone who's home sleeping, but he's going to answer that phone and give you the advice you need. If the police officers are there to arrest you, take your kids away, CPS might be at your door, and this could be at any time. You just hit that red button and you'll get the attorney to advise you of what to do next. And for everything that's not covered under the free benefit, which is all what I just talked about, you get a 25% member discount from our law firm. So that is what you get for $24.95. And I can tell you, if that was just the unlimited phone calls and letters, that'd be worth it. But you get all of this. But more importantly, you get the will, the living will, and the powers of attorney. So we all know getting legal advice for will preparation, powers of attorneys, and all of these things can be quite expensive. So that's why the purpose of this Zoom was to let you know that there is an opportunity. LegalShield gives you an opportunity for $24.95 a month, and it's a month-to-month contract, so no long-term contract. And you can get all of these documents for you and your spouse or significant other done as soon as possible. So as usual, you can reach me at 645-0243, or you can visit our website at www.mplss.com, and you can see exactly what we offer. But again, this is a serious matter. I think a lot of people running around here without any kind of wills or estate documents. Our membership allow you to get that done for a very reasonable cost. So we hope you learned something today. And again, 645-0243. If you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call or visit our website and shoot me over your questions. I'll be more than happy to answer. Again, thank you for joining us today. Have a great day and have a wonderful evening. Aloha.